Hello everyone, I welcome you all to our channel Best Notes Tutorials. I'm Roshni Shah and today in this class I'll be talking about Arundhati Roy's The God of Small Things. This work is very important for literature because this has made Arundhati Roy Booker Prize winner writer. Friends, when we start explanation, please note down those points which I'll say important for your examination. Alright, we will make keywords so that you can remember all those important points for your examination as well. Friends, Arundhati Roy's full name was Susanna Arundhati Roy. Please remember because usually we forget her first name, which is Susanna. Alright, Susanna Arundhati Roy. She was born on 24th of November 1961. In order to remember this year, please keep in mind that first number is small and the last as well, that is 1 1. Alright, and 9 and 6. Obviously, it could not be 1691. So please remember that 9 and 6. Alright, 9 and 6 comes in between. So this is the year of the birth of Arundhati Roy. She is an English Indian author and her very important, very crucial work which gave her profound reputation on international arena as well was The God of Small Things, which was published in the year 1997. Now, this book had become a bestseller and it was by a non-expatriate Indian author. Okay, non-expatriate, it means the one who is not out of their own country. Usually what happens, like in the case of Malala, she left her country and then she became famous. Okay, see, she started residing in London and then her book I Am Malala became famous. Alright, so she is not in her hometown, she is away from her country and she won Peace Prize. Okay, but here in the case of Arundhati Roy, she is in India and she won Booker Prize. Therefore, it is written here she is non-expatriate Indian author. Alright, usually I told you that writers were expatriated because of different reasons. Like in the case of Kashmiri Pandits, they were forced to leave Kashmir and then they settled in different parts of the country and abroad as well, and then they wrote something, all right, to show their experience, all right, to vent out their emotion related to their being away from their country. So in the case of Amitav Ghosh as well, all right, he went to foreign country and then he wrote about his expatriation. That is what being referred here. Let's move to the next point. She is also a political activist involved in human rights and environmental causes. Now, this is our social responsibility. I believe that once we are economically sound and once we have achieved what we have, what we were longing for, we should think about our environment as well and our social upliftment as well. That is what Arundhati Roy did, and for some reasons she was in news as well. All right, it was not for obviously good cause. It was because of a wrong comment on NPR, that is National Population Register. All right, let's not go into all that. I'll just tell you that she was political activist. She is right now as well, and she tried her hands in uplifting environmental condition as well. Let's move to the next point. Now we will focus on her work, that is The God of Small Things. Alright, please keep in mind that this is going to come in your examination. 2 marks will be from this particular work, I'm sure of that. Arundhati Roy began writing her first novel, The God of Small Things, in 1992 and completed in the year 1996. And please remember, it was published in the year 1997 because around I will not say 1 year, all right, few months, which was between 1996 to 97, it took for publication, deciding publication and the means of publication, etc. So in the year 1997 we see The God of small things in the market. The book is semi autobiographical and a major part captures her childhood experiences in Ayamanam. Now, semi autobiographical which means some incidences which she has mentioned in this book has happened to her. Okay, and during her childhood, she had experienced those traumatic situations which had indelible impression in her mind in later life as well. So this is half personal experience of Arundhati Roy and half fictional. All right, now we are not able to decide that what is the percentage, is it 90 percent and 10% or 50-50. All right, but we can assume that whatever is mentioned here that had touched Arundhati Roy, that is why she had mentioned those incidences, in this particular work. All right, so her childhood is being reflected here, and her childhood was spent in this place, that is Ayamanam. This is this is a village in Kattayam district of Kerala. Kattayam, Kattayam, Kattayam district of Kerala. Alright, this place, that is Ayamanam, is in Kattayam of Kerala, and whatever she has experienced during childhood, maximum she mentions in this work. Next point that we need to remember is the publication of The God of Small Things catapulted Roy to international fame. See, this was her first novel, please keep in mind. First novel, number one. Number two, because of this novel, her reputation had reached to the international boundaries. Alright, and beyond that as well. Catapulted means to cover a distance. Alright, you must have seen catapult, with which I will say that it is inhuman to kill birds, but we use it for that. Alright, so what does it symbolize? It symbolizes the heights of reputation that Arundhati Roy had received after the publication of this novel. So from this page, you have to remember that this was first novel. Next, when she started it, when she completed, and the publication year is 1997. It is semi-autobiographical and childhood experience is being reflected. Next, because of this novel, she became famous in international arena as well. Let's see other points as well. It received the 1997 Booker Prize for fiction and was listed as one of the New York Times notable books of the year. So here you need to remember that in the year of publication, that is 1997, she received Booker Prize, that is Man Booker Prize, in the category of fiction. Okay, fiction. Next, fiction means imaginary story. In that category, she won this award. Next, it reached fourth position. Fourth position. Please remember all these minor things for your MCQs. Position on the New York Times bestsellers list for independent fiction. Independent means she herself had written that fiction. There was no collaboration work. From the beginning, the book was also a commercial success. So right from the publication, it became famous. It was accepted by the readers, and so many so many editions of this book was famous. It has reached to the audience, and because of that, she won £500,000 as an advance. £500,000 as an advance. Alright, when we convert £1 into Indian rupees, it will be around 102 rupees. 102 Indian rupees. Okay, so you can imagine that how much beneficial it had become for Arundhati Roy. Let's move to the next point. It was published in May and the book had been sold in 18 countries by the end of the June. So it means that it was accepted by the people of almost entire world. The God of Small Things is the debut novel of Indian writer Arundhati Roy. We have discussed this. It is a story about childhood experiences of fraternal twins whose lives are destroyed by the love laws that lay down who should be loved and how much. Now, see, the problem with society is that they want to tie human beings and their emotions. All right, whatever they have experienced, they want to uh, implement those experiences on upcoming generation as well, and there lies the problem. Because we say that all the individuals are different, they have different perspectives, okay, but we forget that they have their own likes and dislikes as well. All right, and how much they should love, and who they should love. Okay, all these restrictions people cannot force on them. All right, so this is why it is said that it was destroyed. Okay, fraternal twins, they had been destroyed by the laws of the society. And not only that, it explores how small things, okay, how trivial things of human life changes and results into a huge tragedy in later life. It sounds so similar, it sounds so insignificant when I explain, but because of these minor things, alright, this novel had been able to reach to the hearts and mind of the people. The book also reflects its irony against casteism. See, when we talk about India, it can never be without casteism. Casteism is there in the root, and yet we are not able to get rid of this, social evil. So we need to educate everyone. We need to show that only education and nothing else is important in social norms. All right, if we are able to implement this, then we will, progress in leaps and bounds. Next is discrimination that prevails in India. So, casteism and discrimination, these two are termites of India, and therefore, we are not able to declare ourselves as a developed country yet. Let's move to the next point. Friends, please keep on noting all these important points in your diary. If you want this PDF, do let me know as well. It won the Booker Prize in the year 1997. This we have already discussed. Next important point is that another novel of Arundhati Roy, The God of Small Things, was Roy's first book and only novel until 2017. Alright, for around 20 years, she did not write. Alright, this The God of Small Things was the only novel of Arundhati Roy, and then she wrote The Ministry of Utmost Happiness 20 years later. This is the book that she wrote after The God of Small Things. Please keep in mind, this is important one. Alright, after 20 years, she wrote The Ministry of Utmost Happiness 20 years later. She began writing the manuscript for The God of Small Things in the year 1992 and finished 4 years later in 1996. This point also we have discussed. It was published the following year. I told you that 1996 was the completion of the work, and in the year 1997 it was published. Now, who was the main life changer in Arundhati Roy? It was Pankaj Mishra, who recognized that this particular book holds the potential to change the world. So it was given to Harper Collins for publication, and then editor Harper Collins, and then it was sent to 3 British publishers. Alright, and right after that, Roy received 5 lakh pounds in advance, and rights to the book were sold in 21 countries. Now, right for republication of the book. Okay, this was sold to 21 countries. So you can imagine that how the book had impacted common people. Friends, I'll be uploading next video where we will be discussing plot, theme, summary of the novel The God of Small Things. So stay tuned with us for the same. Till then, take care and prepare well. This is Lieutenant Roshni Shah signing off.